special edition of My Brain, My Heart, Sports Talk with Mike. How you feeling this morning? I know I'm groggy as hell. It's St. Paddy's Day, so I'm going to get back on my grind and do what you do when you're Irish. Like a little leprechaun. I'm going to get in there, I'm going to open up my fridge, and I'm going to open up a few beers. This isn't episode 14. This is a special edition, a recap of UFC 158. I'm going to let you know what my record was on the night, how I fared out, and I'll give you a short recap on the fights. First up, John Medeski against Darren Cruikshank. First round, very boring first round. Both fighters just gauged the fight, gauged each other. Medeski, turned out to be kind of a kicking match. Just a little kick to the body, kick to the leg, a lot of welts on both parts. But as time went on, Medeski kind of started utilizing his jabs to his advantage, getting more kicks in. By the third round, he got poked in the eye, and it just continued from there. He just got angry. Just stepped it up just a tiny bit with his jabs, harder kicks. Nothing really too spectacular in this fight, but Medeski won. He won. Sorry. I was right about that one. So born in Halifax, fighting out of Montreal, but I was right on that fight. Next up, Jordan Meehan. He was up against the veteran Dan Miller. Man, if you've seen that armbar, Miller, he didn't have it quite in, but he had it to the point that I didn't think he was going to get out of it. I thought Meehan was out of luck, but he scrambled. He did it perfectly. He didn't lose his composure. He got out of it exactly how he had to. Meehan surprised me to the fullest. The way that he was coming in, he had a bomb. Just pop Miller, stun Miller, just put him on his ass, and Meehan did his thing. I had Miller winning the fight. Meehan came out on top. Congratulations, Meehan. So I was wrong on that one. Carvalho, he was up against Elkins. Now, from the very start of the fight, both were just throwing their bombs, throwing their fists. Elkins caught Carvalho with a nice jab there, and then a nice hook. Carvalho dropped, but he was right back up. But for a fighter's safety, the ref jumped in a little bit too early because he dropped, but was popped right back up. And but as soon as he started falling, he figured it was over. And unfortunately, I lost that fight. I had Carvalho winning. If the ref would have let it keep going, you don't know what would have happened. But we're going to go with that decision, and I lost that. So now I'm 1-2 in the first 3 fights. Man, under 500. I can't have that. So now we're going to jump over to the Patrick Cote fight. He got caught with a few knee strikes, but his combos were on. He worked control. Volker had the first, but Cote had the second and third. His takedown strikes, he won by unanimous decision. I felt it should have actually been a split decision to Volker. I actually thought Volker had the fight. It went unanimous. Cote, do I think it was because of the hometown? Yeah, there's no other way. Because Cote, he did great, but no, it should have been a split decision to Volker. Because even though I believe Cote had the second and third, that was just kind of hype. More Volker controlled the match, and he controlled the outcome, and but I'm not mad. Cote moved to 6-8 in the octagon, and I win that match. I'm up to 500, 2-2. Next up, Mike Ricci. No, he didn't play for the Philadelphia Flyers, Colorado Avalanche. I even had people ask me, like, are you sure? Like, is that, like, were you joking? No, it's not him. So this guy, he controlled the pace of the fight. But Fletcher, man, this guy was the weirdest guy I've ever seen. But he is a good fighter. He's a smart fighter. He got some nice hard kicks in. But Ricci did his damage in the third. And up into the ring, he just he got him down. And Ricci controlled the fight. He controlled the pace. He controlled the distance. And Richie, he got the fight, unanimous decision, and I got that one right. I'm up to 3-2. Now, Ring came out first and second, hands down. The most unorthodox fight. It looked like he was a drunk fighter. I mean, I should have been concerned from the very beginning when he walked out to that music. He just, I don't know, maybe a hippie in the 70s, swinging back and forth. It didn't even look like he was comfortable. It just, I felt like maybe he was trying to confuse Camozzi, and he did. Camozzi won. I think he won by a split decision. But I actually gave it to Ring. Even though I thought Camozzi was going to win the fight, that's what I said. Camozzi was going to win the fight. But throughout the match, I felt Ring was getting more damage. Third round though, Ring was gassed out, and Camozzi just came at him with everything he had. And I guess the refs thought, the judges, thought he did enough. And one of the first or two, I think it was the second round. I'm not sure, first or second round. But in the end, Camozzi wins by split decision, and I got that one right too. So I moved to 4-2. Next up, Nate Marquardt lost to Jake Ellenberger, and Ellenberger, he brought fists of fury. I didn't know that guy could do that. Marquardt, no one's ever been able to stop him, so I was surprised by the outcome of that fight. Ellenberger, you win that, and I was wrong. Carlos Condit lost to Big Rig Johnny Hendricks. That, I didn't see it go into the judge's decision. I thought someone was getting knocked the hell out. Whether it be Hendricks or Condit, I didn't know someone was going to get knocked out. And both, Hendricks was throwing his bombs, his anvils. Condit was throwing his knees. It was an amazing match. Fight of the night. It was perfect. I can't even remember if it was fight of the night actually. Let me just double check on my statistics that I got here. I must have wrote it down somewhere. Let's see. I got so much stuff going on here. I don't know if I wrote it down. No, I can't even remember though. I'm just so tired. But there's no way they didn't get fight of the night, right? They had to have gotten fight of the night. It was just perfect. But Hendricks wins. And I was right on that one. I moved to 5-3. Last fight, George St. Pierre against Nick Diaz. So from the very start of the match, it was just Diaz was taken down. GSP took him down. I controlled him on the floor. Diaz was just trying to do his roll, and but GSP he worked the mat. He worked it to his advantage, and he did exactly what he needed to do, getting in his shots there, body shots, head shots. Then when he got Diaz on his back, Diaz had a good defense, but GSP would kind of do everything he can to get a shot on Diaz, and he looked like he was having fun in the first round. Last 15 seconds, slam Diaz. Oh, I like that slam. Must have hurt his face a little bit. Second round, within 40 seconds, Diaz was down again, back on his back. No answers, elbows, hammer fist. Diaz was trying to get in the head of GSP with this dumb friggin' taunting. It didn't work. GSP held his composure. He stuck to his game plan, and he continued the match the way he wanted to do it. Superman punches, kicks to the thigh, kicks to the body, go for the takedown. Diaz, on the third, he did his best to avoid the takedown. He was taken down again, but he got back up, but then he took a little bit of control in the third round. GSP wasn't as successful at his takedown attempts, and Diaz was doing his best to scramble and avoided. His defense was getting better. He was getting in his jabs, his kicks. Diaz was kind of taking a hold of the third round story. And then GSP took him down again. He took away all the power, all the energy Diaz was building up, and GSP took him down again. Fourth round, no takedowns, but jabs, leg shots. Diaz looked desperate. He was doing whatever he had to do. He was trying to go for a takedown, wasn't having it. He just, but he was throwing knees, good combos. Diaz did exactly what he had to do. GSP was obviously the better fighter within the first 4 rounds, but Diaz, he didn't look as bad as I thought he was going to be. He did his thing. Another takedown. Diaz got back up. Boom! Slam. GSP slammed Diaz again, and I just love when someone's so powerful that they can just pick up someone else and just slam them down. I like that. 5th round, locked. It was locked in, knees upon knees. Diaz goes for a kick. His leg gets kicked up by GSP. GSP takes advantage, of course, gets on top of him. Chance of "fuck you, Diaz" rang throughout the Bell Center. And another takedown by GSP after Diaz got back up. Just hammer him. And that's how it ended up. GSP, you are the unanimous decision winner. Very methodical champion. You retained your belt. I had GSP winning again, going to the judge's decision. This one, even though I went to the judge's decision, it was more of a control fight, so I could not give Diaz any round. So this proved GSP was the better fighter, because he even when they were up in boxing, GSP looked like he had control of the boxing. He controlled Diaz's game, and that's what makes you the better fighter. So I finished 6-3 on the night. Not a pretty good record, you know what I mean? I liked it. It was overall, they were all pretty good fights, pretty decent fights. GSP's fight, of course, could have been more entertaining. The only time I think I seen a submission was Diaz going for a Kimura on GSP about 46 times, but didn't look like anyone was going to get knockout. Going to get that knockout, and that was it. It was just a good card. I enjoyed it all. I enjoyed all 21 of my beers last night, and it's St. Paddy's Day, so we're gonna get going. I finished 6-3, so I deserve a beer. And next up, we got Anderson Silva in his matchup. We'll see what happens there. So that's it for the special edition of My Brain, My Heart Sports Talk with Mike. Enjoy St. Paddy's Day.